Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, you all. Good evening. It is Sunday. Can y'all believe it is Sunday? This week went by so fast, so amazing, so many amazing things happened. And for one, I didn't use. I am Renee. I'm a recovering addict and who's always on here to help someone, to give them a little input about this addiction. And today I want to give a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. I want to give a shout out to the therapists and to the counselors, everybody that helped me in my life and helped you in your life, help you change, help you learn how to maintain a clean living program, and I thank God for all the stuff that He have helped us when we were struggling, and we still might struggle a little bit now, but it ain't nothing like it was when I was using, so I thank God for all the turnarounds, and thank God for blessing this broadcast, and thanking God for let Him touch people to let them know it is some help. See, this right here is serious because, people's are dying and people's lives is not working out. There's no way it can work out and you're using. There's just no way. I thank God for allowing us time to change our lives. To the parents, to the sister or brother or mother or father who lost a child due to addiction. I lost a son due to addiction. And I'm forever grateful to have had him 36 years. But today we are on, let us open a moment of silence for the addicts who still suffer in and out of the walls of recovery. My God. Oh, y'all, we are on step one, man. Step one. Step one was a highlighter for me. Step one was a savior. Step one saved me. Step one made me recognize what I had to do in my life to get my life together. Step one is a step that I always have to stay on. Step one, we admitted that we were powerless and over our addiction and that our lives have become unmanageable. This step one, we admitted. Now, you heard what it said, we admitted. Yeah, we have to admit in order to realize that we are powerless. I had to admit, I didn't have no choice. I take that back. We have choices. Either we're going to do the thing or we're going to get it together or we're going to keep playing Russian roulette with our lives. But we admitted that we were powerless. How did you admit, Renee, that you were powerless? How did y'all admit? What brought y'all to the point of admitting that you are powerless? What took you to that inner circle where you realized that that you was powerless? Well, I couldn't stop using. I couldn't stop getting high. I just couldn't stop the lying and the stealing and my behavior and my character had changed. I knew everything that I touched, I kept messing up over and over again. So my life did become unmanageable. I am powerless. You cannot win using drugs. There's no way in how you think that you can keep using drugs and still keep maintaining a job, or keep maintaining the lies, or keep maintaining your car payment, or keep maintaining your constantly living a lie. You just can't. I'm so glad for the 12-step program of Narcotics Anonymous. It has blessed me to learn so much about me. And once we admitted that we were powerless, then there was. I can't win. I'm giving it up. Stop me, oh God. I cannot continue to drink and use drugs and pop pills. I'm not winning. There's no way I can win. It's no way I can win. No way I can win. I kept trying to figure it out, sort it out. I can't win. So we admit it. We come to a point in our lives where we had to get butt naked honest and admit that we got a problem and that we are powerless over drugs. Why is we powerless? Okay, well, if you think you're not, then you keep on trying to keep on using, and you're going to see you ain't going to win. I was powerless. I knew I was powerless when I stopped doing everything that was good in my life, and my life became unmanageable. My life really became unmanageable. You know, and when I tell you unmanageable, I wake up not even having a destination. I wake up not even wanting to do nothing. I wake up and not have a good thought in my mind to want to change. All I wanted to do was use. And I knew something was wrong with me, but we are the most big denials in our lives when we hurting ourselves. When we hurting ourselves, we deny ourselves. We deny ourselves of any good, anything good. Everything has to be chaotic. Everything has to be bad. And once I admitted that I was powerless, then I'm telling you, I'm tired. I can't do it. You know, I got to the place where I know what being powerless is, when you ain't got no control. Only control I have now is I don't have to pick up. Only control I'm used to now is I don't want to pick up. So that's a big difference for me, because it says we admit it. We had to get to a place to admit something that was so great for us that we have been denying. We've been knowing that everything was chaotic and our lives was unmanageable. We've been knowing that, but the disease of an addiction tell us something different. The disease of an addiction tell us that we manageable. We can do, we can be okay. We're doing all right, but that's not the case. That's not the case. I thank God for all the nights I had to stay up, or we had to stay up. I thank God for all the times that we was out in the streets in the danger zone, but He still protected us. I thank God for letting us have a will to want to change, to want to accept that we are powerless. And see, that was the greatest gift that I allowed myself to heal, was to realize that we are powerless. There's no way we can win. There's no way we can keep trying to lie to ourselves and figure out things. I come to a point in my life where I'm powerless over drugs and alcohol. And I'm going to add to it, I ain't just powerless over drugs and alcohol, over the addiction. I'm powerless over anything that I don't want to change. I ain't trying to fix, manage, and change nothing. I'm powerless over the way people think. I'm powerless over the way people live. I'm powerless over the way people do me. Only thing I can do is do the best I can do. Hey, Robin, how you doing, honey? I'm just to the point to where it says we admit. Do you know how long it took us to admit that even something was wrong? Come on, Renee. Do you know how long it took for us to admit that we that we are powerless? Do you know how long that took? You know how many years we used? Do you know how many things we went through? Do you know how many U-turns we made? Do you know how many ups and downs we went through? And we still hadn't admitted. We still wouldn't admit it. But boy, when it came down to hitting bottom, when you hit bottom, you ain't got no choice. You either gotta get in or you gotta stay out and keep using. I ain't using. I just ain't. I hate this disease. I tell y'all all the time. God has been good. He allowed us to go through so we can get to the things that in the places we needed to get to. You know, when you look back over your life, everything everybody else doing, they party and all that, you think that is important. But we've been there, done that. We should know that's important. I'm powerless over any situation, anything in my life that I think that I can change. I don't try to change it. That's God's job. I ain't taking his job. His job too big for me anyway. So, you know, he got a lot of stuff he got to handle. A lot of people's all over this world. A lot of prayers that's been going up to him. So, you know, only thing I can do is be one of them individuals that's sending up prayers too and telling God, Lord, just keep me in your will so I won't ever go back to using it. And I don't put myself in that atmosphere. Sometimes your losses is your greatest gain. Sometimes, you know, something happened today. You know, I cooked and some of them still here, and then I cooked a big dinner and something happened. Good. See, met this person with one person, but then that person is gone, and then this person is with somebody I love, and that was a blessing. So that's why I said sometimes your losses are your blessings and your big gains. Where you think you wanted me to think I wasn't worthy of you, or you want to think you played me. But no, God sometimes move people out the way so he can put the better person that's ready for that in the way. I love what happened. I love what I seen today. It made my heart so very, very, you know, overwhelmed. Because both of them is good people. Both of them is good people. And just know that sometimes when we find out things we are powerless over, you know, and this step one maintains in our life today and every day, you know, and when we realize that we are powerless over people, places, and things, then our expectation on them shouldn't be so high. You know, I don't set myself up to judge nobody. And I don't set myself up to trust everybody. And I'm in a place in my life where I had to admit some things that when it came to the rock bottom, I hit rock bottom. I know y'all hit it. All of us did. All of us did. We came in the program running. We came in the program needing a meeting. We came in the program needed a counsel. We came in the program for a long time treatment. We came in the program because I know when I went in, I came in for a 30-day treatment. And I had to realize why was I there? I had to admit. I admitted it when I kept going back and forth in front of Northwest General Hospital that I was done, that I was powerless. I got to do what I need to do. I have to do what I need to do to save my life. Enough is enough. Come on, y'all. Y'all continue. You think you can't break? You think you unbreakable? You think you know that you gonna win with drugs and alcohol? Well, you won't. You'll die in it or die trying. I ain't never going back to using. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction. What addiction? Drug addiction. All my addictions. I had a lot of addiction. People come in with a lot of addiction, but the main one they focus on the most is the drugs. And you're supposed to. You're supposed to focus on the drugs, but you're also supposed to focus on your other addictions that carry you to want to go even get the drugs. Your learned behavior, your attitude, the way you move without thinking and having consequences. You know, I've been doing this thing so long until it's easy for me. But it's something I don't forget because I can go back. I don't want to get up there and forget. I can go back just like everybody else. I paid the price to be here. I had to make a lot of U-turns in order to win, in order to recover, in order to understand the disease of an addiction. See, the disease of an addiction would trick us. It would lie to us straight up. It would lie to us. But I come to the part in my life that I'm just powerless over drugs, over alcohol, over anything that I can't change, and I can't change the fact that I can't get high. I gotta keep that the same. I gotta understand that I am in powerless mode. You know, we know, we sit back and we think and we look back over our lives, how many times we was powerless over things, but we tried to take cover to rearrange and fix and manage somebody else thinking, somebody else performance. You can't do that. Sometimes the greatest gift is taking the hurt and walk away. But let it be a learning lesson. Because we all going to get hurt. We all was hurt when we came in the program. Nobody came in the program happy, okay? We didn't come in the program being happy. We came in the program not focused, so hurt, no understanding. You know, what happened? We have all these unanswered questions. Because I never knew that drugs and alcohol was a disease. I never knew that. I always just thought it was a habit or something I picked up and I could stop at any given time. And every time I kept using, I kept saying I could stop at any given time. It seemed like the years got longer, and the more I said it, the more years it became. So I realized one thing. We realized when it says we. That's why I love we. That unity. That means all of us is in the same situation. And all of us got to deal with the same thing to find a new way to live. So you ain't no better than me and I ain't no better than you. We got to separate ourselves in knowing that we have to change. In order to change, in order to grow, in order to stand with the God of our understanding so he can help maintain our sobriety. My sobriety is everything. I never knew how important I was until I found me in a better place. You are very important. Robin, you are very important. Anybody that come up on this site is important. And don't let nobody steal that and take that away from you. You know, sometimes when we don't even know how good we got it, or we don't know how good we've been having it until we get clean. And year after year, we see things better. We see things different. We see things happening for us. Everybody got a time in the season, but with this one season, I know I'm powerless over any drugs and alcohol. Our lives have become so unmanageable. You know, the lady asked me, she said, well, what do you know, when we was talking, you know, she said, when you say your life has become unmanageable, she said, what do you mean? You stopped working? You stopped? No. I didn't stop. I got fired. I told her I didn't stop. I got fired. You know, your life become unmanageable. Your life become like a roller coaster. The more you get high, the more unmanageable your life became. You stop paying bills. You stop going to school to check on your kids. You stop being in the midst of their happiness. You stop nurturing. You stop taking care of yourself. You just stop. Everything that was good for you before now becomes something that you don't even understand because of the addiction. You know, I said, that's how my life become unmanageable. I said, I got fired. I didn't stop. I was still trying to use and still work, still trying to keep on going. So I got fired. My life did become unmanageable. Where I used to have tissue paper, I had to use a rag or a towel to wipe my butt. And she thought that was so funny. That lady thought that was so funny, but I was telling her the truth. And I tell you all the time, you come down, you look up under my sink, I'm going to keep that full of tissue paper because it's a reminder of how far I have come. It's a reminder of how we went through the things that we had to go through to understand why we are powerless. You know, we are very powerless. And the same way it pertains to drugs, I look at it as peoples. I look at it as situations. We are powerless over anything. Hey Denise, baby, we are powerless, but some things we have to learn on our is to have patience. You know, I learned in recovery is that you never see me, only time you see me upset is one of my kids pissed me off or made me mad. But other than that, I'm kind of low key, you know, because, you know, recovery teaches us when we found out that we was powerless, that mean over a situation too. That means I knew I was powerless over drugs, but then when you let, and that's why I tell people it ain't about just drugs. It's about powerless over situation, powerless over things didn't turn out the way I thought to. People that like, and when we get caught in our own personal feelings, you know, then we gotta apologize. Because then we start saying things that we ain't got no business, or we get mad, or we holding on because we in our personal feelings. But sometimes you have to learn to be patient, be quiet, and things will be different. I don't let nobody knock me off my square. My kids have knocked me off my square sometimes, but they my kids. But I'm talking about the outside world. I don't let people knock me off my square. I'm always in control. You know, because when I admitted that I was powerless over addiction, that let me know that now I'm taking some control back. I realize I can't use. I realize I can't drink. Hey, Denise. Hey, baby. Hey, Annie. How you doing? I realize I can't do none of them things no more. And when expectation on you and you think people did this to hurt you, people did this to that, stop giving yourself to people. You know, see, I don't do that. I don't give myself to nobody because everybody in recovery they ain't working a program like me, ain't in pain like I be in sometimes, don't understand me, I don't understand them. That's why expectation on how other people make me feel is very important. I'm powerless. And once I learned that word with powerless mean, that means I no longer have no control over drugs, over people's action, over the way people do me, how everybody, you know, ain't nobody, you know, I gotta be honest, because being powerless mean, you know, I ain't in nobody's face for nobody to talk crazy to me or do that. Cause see, that was one of my character defects. You know, I can be in some bull crap and I can stay in some stuff, but I don't do that. I keep my, you know, I walk, when I'm with God, me and God walk alone. You don't never see nobody with me. And you don't never see me going through anything like that. Because see, people will take you there if you allow them to. Some people know what button to push. I'm powerless. You know, I'm powerless over the way that person had. I'm powerless that I tried to do something good and then they made me feel bad. I'm powerless that they made me wait for them and I know I done did. I'm powerless the way somebody talked about me and belittle me. Hey girl, come on, get a grip. That is life. We had the same people we deal with now. It's the same people we had did when we was using. Only thing changed is we in recovery. And now that we're in recovery, you think that people would know better and do better. Everybody ain't there yet. Everybody still got behaviors. Everybody still know that they powerless. They can't win with drugs, but they ain't learned that with every else and expectation in their lives. You don't never hear my name in nothing. Because I ain't going to give you that energy that you want from me. I work too hard to keep this energy. And one of that energy is being powerless and that I do have control over my life now. I'm powerless over drugs and peoples and places and things. It tells you. And people get caught up. I see y'all on Facebook. Y'all get caught up in that bull crap. Y'all thinking that we coming to recovery and everything gonna be peaches and ice cream, but you still got different spirit, different attitude, different behaviors, different characters. So people still in recovery still ain't worked on everything. And you have to learn that. I learn it. When people be going off or say something to me or do something, I just laugh. Remember one time I told you I was in a meeting and I was asking the girl, could she speak up? Because I really didn't hear her, you know. And she told me to be quiet. And I was okay with that. It hurt my feelings. Humility set in, but I laughed at that. And said to myself, I'm so glad I ain't you. I'm so glad that I worked on. I know what powerless is. I'm powerless over what you just said to me. Now I can take it and run with it and go off on it, but then I'm giving you what you want me to, and I ain't giving you that. See, we admit that we are powerless. We admit that only power that I have is to know that I can't control you or your thoughts. And people know all they got to do is everybody don't know where my button at. And when we admitted that we are powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. Yeah, our lives have become unmanageable because we was putting stuff in us to keep our lives unmanageable. You know, and I got to a point to where, I don't trust people's. You have to win my trust. I don't trust everybody. I like you, I hug you, but I don't trust everybody. You know, and that was one of my guards that I kept up when I came into recovery, because recovery teaches us that soon as you think you got some control and power over what somebody else say, then you in trouble. The only power you have is to work on yourself. Hey, Stella, how you doing, babies? Work on yourself. And I see so many of my friends that I love, truly, I love, get caught up in other people's situation because of their feelings. You know, get caught up in your feelings. Why? If you really work in a program, why you like that? Why is you on here? Yeah, why is you upset? Why did they take that energy from you? See, that's what powerless. And when we realized that we were powerless over drugs and that our lives have become unmanageable, you know, I started feeling a little better. I didn't want nobody to know I'm dumb. I didn't want nobody to know I'm powerless over drugs. And I didn't want nobody to know that the drugs was too big and I had to tell somebody that I'm powerless over drugs. I didn't want nobody to know. I didn't even want nobody to know I was an addict. I didn't want nobody to even know I was an addict. So less caring about you want me to stand up and say I'm powerless over drugs, or you want me to sit down and admit that I'm powerless over drugs and alcohol and my lives have become, I'm a powerless over you. I'm powerless over my kids. That step right here helped me in everyday life. I'm powerless over how my daughter might talk to me or act crazy, or how my son might tow up my car or did this. I'm powerless over that. Only power I have, I gave it to you because I trust you with the car. I trust you with the money. That's the power I lost. So I done learned a lot in recovery. Stay at a place in your life where you still. Patience. We admit. Boy, y'all come on. You know it wasn't easy for us to admit that we was crackheads, dope fiends. It wasn't easy. I liked it better when I can isolate or pretend or dress my face up, acting like everything was all right. And that was the biggest mask that I wore for a long time, and that's what kept me using that disease of an addiction. That disease of an addiction. It hurted me. It stabbed me in my back. It absolutely made me think that I was okay. That's that disease. You know, we have to learn in recovery when it says we admitted. I love that part when it says we. We admitted that we were powerless. And why did we have to get to that point to admit? Come on, y'all. Y'all know everything was chaotic. Y'all know how we had stopped eating, wouldn't brush our hair, you know, didn't pay our rent, or didn't do our daily lives, living things. Come on, y'all. Y'all know that something had to be wrong. But the disease of an addiction, when I smoked or drank, I felt good. And I forgot everything I told God that I was going to do, that I was going to stop using, that I was going to, you know, get myself together. Because as soon as I get some money, as soon as that thought come and I wanted to go get some, I went and got it. And that disease of an addiction is terrible. And ain't nobody taking me off my square. I learned something about this step. I'm powerless over everything in my life. If I can't control it, I don't try. But one thing that I am, I do got a little control, is to be patient and not get in my personal feelings. Because see, that personal feelings, the outcome that you bring out will end up biting you, and you'll end up have to apologize. You'll end up have to, well, I didn't mean that, or end up I'm doing again what I said I wouldn't do. So sometimes the best key for me, and when I'm telling you it works for me, is not say nothing. Just go with your flow, go with the feelings, and that's how you learn your behavior has changed. I'm powerless over peoples. It says that peoples, places, and things. I'm powerless over an addiction. I can't win. That's why I had to give it up. That's why I had to tell God, take me, oh God. Deliver me. Take me to somewhere. Show me what to do. Help me get some help. Because I can't do this alone. This is not an alone program. It's a unity program. It's people getting together, helping another one, helping somebody else see their way, find a new way to live, or find their way. Stop beating yourself up. Stop blaming yourself for the things you did in the past. That's the past. When you come into recovery, everything's supposed to start being new. New thinking, new attitude. I'm powerless. I still can't never forget I'm powerless over drugs, though I can never, ever, 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 ever forget that. I'm powerless. I can't put myself in situations that can cause me to go back. Hey, Bernadette. Good to see you, baby. I can't do that. Ain't no use of me trying. I ain't smoking no more dope. It was too bad for me. That dope. I respect that dope. I respect that alcohol. It be looking good. People be dancing, acting like they have a good time. But see, I know the exception of that is painful afterwards. I ain't stupid. Hey, Michael, I ain't stupid. Everything that look good ain't good. I have to always remember I'm powerless no matter what the situation is. I can't use drugs no matter how I'm thinking or how I'm feeling or how I'm acting. I cannot pick up using no drug because then I'm back to square one all over again. I can't do it. Oh, you hurt my feelings. I really thought you loved me. I'm powerless. I'm powerless right now, y'all. Come on now. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of personal stuff I had to go through. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you loved me. I thought when you came from Africa. See, this is what this powerless mean. I thought when you came from Africa that you truly loved me. I thought I had a winner. I went to Africa and I stayed in Africa for 14 days and I came back and you came back and I thought you really loved me. And then all of a sudden, my eyes opened and I had to realize what I was feeling was pain, but I didn't want nobody to know I was in pain. So I had to figure some things out within myself. I always have to remember I'm powerless over situations and people. And it got to the point I had to realize, well, you only married me for a green card. And I had to have a conversation with me and God, just me and God. And I had to realize, okay, God, is this one of these things I'm powerless over? Yes, it is. It's powerless over peoples. And when you powerless over peoples and over our addiction, you have to look at your life and see what it really is. Oh man, now he got me making me feel like a fool. I don't want nobody to know that he used me. I don't want nobody to know. No, I'm different. I'm recovering now. I want everybody to know. He used me. He had me to go to Africa and I went to Africa and came back and he came here and he tried to maintain me, tried to change my character, tried to stop me from spending money. No, yeah, he did. He used me and I let him, but I'm powerless over that because I let him. Did you hear what I'm saying? I let him. He couldn't have did nothing without me unless I let him. Same thing in your life, I'm telling y'all now. Stop letting people come in your life. Stop making people talk to you when they want to talk to you or make you feel bad or talk to you like any kind of way. The best way to do when I do with them people these days, I don't say nothing. Boy, that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling not to say nothing. Because I used to want to bust you upside your head. Or I used to want to slap the mess out of you. See, that's that old me. So when the new me come in, the new me knew, oh, let me see how much I done grown. I'm powerless over you. I'm powerless over that situation. I am powerless over anybody. And I had to accept some things in my life. Sometimes we look for love and we look for love in the wrong places. But I ain't looking. I promise to God I ain't looking. Hey, Caroline, I ain't looking. Because if you look, you're going to find. And what you find might not be good. If God wants somebody for me, guess what? He know I'm powerless over drugs. That's why I take my life and I fill my life up in everything. I wish I could go here and go there and go do this and go do this. My life is so busy, and I keep it that way. I keep it that way because I don't want the devil to come into my mind when I ain't doing nothing. So I have to stay busy. We admit. It didn't say I admit it. It said we admit. We admit that we are powerless over our addiction. Why do we gotta admit it? The first thing I asked when I came in, why y'all want me to admit something? And I ain't finna tell y'all I admit that I'm powerless. I can do drugs anytime I get ready. They say, okay, that's why you in the program. That's why you here, Renee. If you can do drugs anytime you want to, we know that. We all been addicts. We always been there. Why is you here? That made sense. I'm here because my life had become unmanageable. The money I was supposed to pay for rent, I took it and smoked it up. My life become unmanageable. You know, all the pretty clothes I had, I sold them just to get one more drug. So when it says, how did your life become unmanageable? It ain't no specific thing. You got to go by and look how you used to brush your teeth. You stopped doing that. How you used to wash your butt, you stop doing that. That's why when you see people on the street and they stinking and they smelling and they high, okay, that was you and that was me. You come on, y'all, don't go get it twisted. Y'all know, when I was using, I didn't care. Someday I'd be on the bench 3 or 4 days and I wouldn't care, and I wouldn't comb my hair and I wouldn't brush my teeth. I wouldn't even eat. I was trying to figure out how can I get one more. And that one more was killing us. So when we admit that we are powerless, we admit to something. We admit that drug is too bad. That chaotic spirit is too bad for us to maintain. Because we're going to lose. You might think you can still keep drinking and slipping drinking. But you know, 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough. That's where that situation come in. I don't play Russian roulette with recovery. I don't play Russian roulette with this disease. This disease is battling. You know, when I look back over my life, I'm saying, man, how did my life become unmanageable? How did I get here? I didn't want to give up. You know, then I say that. I stand over a toilet and throw up. And I make all these promises. God, I'm going to do good. Oh, God, please. You know, I'm sick of being sick and tired of being tired. And then within maybe an hour or two, I'm back to smoking dope. Y'all ain't never did that? Okay, it was just me then. Okay. I'll take that. Because ain't no use of me lying. That's what I went through. How many times that I was trying to count pennies to get $1. And then I kept counting nickels just to get another $1. You know, to go get a dope man some money. But I didn't realize how powerless I was. I can't use. I can't even be around nobody that use. And if you want to see me angry, come around me using. Then that old Renee that she done put down and kept in that little corner there will come out. I got to save my life. I can't use. I'm powerless over. And it ain't just addiction. I like it when it says powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. Wait a minute now. Because addiction make us do things that we hate we did. And addiction make us go and hurt ourselves and buy drugs and do this and do that. So I'm at a point in my life, that I know I can't use. Because I'm screwed up. I was screwed up when I stopped using. And God blessed us to get ourselves together in the midst of us finding out that we are powerless over our addiction. I'm okay. I'm glad to tell anybody I'm powerless. You know, I used to look at the people at the meeting. They say, oh, hey, I'm an addict. And I'm powerless over our addiction. I said, now why this person had to say that? Didn't nobody have to know that? Why you telling everybody you powerless? You know, you demeaning yourself. This is how I used to think. You demeaning yourself. They didn't ask you for all that. Why you stand up and say you powerless over the addiction? You here, ain't you? Ain't you at a meeting like me? Ain't you an inpatient like me? So why you got to tell everybody you powerless over your addiction? Oh boy, but be careful what you say about somebody else, because sooner or later I was standing up, hey, I'm Renee, I'm an addict, I'm powerless over addiction. So you got to be careful. I did time selling drugs. I did time using drugs. I sit behind bars because I didn't want to admit that I was powerless. I thought I could sell drugs. I thought I could do drugs, and I didn't win from neither one of them. And I'm okay where I'm at today. And I want you to be okay. But stop letting people come into your life. You are powerless over people's place and things. People's can have you up, and people's can have you down. If your expectation is high, you got to bring it down. Your expectation always has to be at a standstill. We are powerless. We are powerless over addiction. We ain't going to win. Come on, y'all. I was tired of beating myself up. We was tired of people's belittling us. We was tired of people's walking all over us. And you know the sad part about it is when we was using, and in that midst of that disease of using drugs, it was our own peoples, our own family members that hurt us. Ain't that something? Instead of help us, instead of trying to pull us up. Seemed like they liked us better when we was using, but now that we clean, you know, some of them don't like us because we much stronger, we think different, we act different, we know we powerless over drugs, we show you because we go to meetings, we set up at a convention, we all get together as unity, so that tells us we all know we powerless over this addiction, and that's a good thing for me. You know, because I always thought I was Superwoman when I was using drugs and try to act like I was somebody that I really wasn't. You know, I'm just low key now. Recovery taught me, this step taught me you better be low key and respect the God of your understanding and keep it real at all times. And I have to keep it real. I don't know no other way. I really don't know no other way. Because when I first came into treatment, I wanted it all. I wanted every knowledge. I wanted every conversation. I needed every thought that you can give me to change the way I was thinking. You know, I'm tired of holding on to resentment. See, I'm good at that. And so that's why I have to go to you and say, look, can I talk to you? Or can we talk? Can we have a meeting? Because, see, you know, I don't want to take some of the same character that was in my addiction and carry it, and I'm not using no more. I'm powerless over that. So I don't want to walk around holding resentments and being angry and coming in one way and feeling the same way when I left out. That ain't me. So that lets me know I'm out of character right there. So I got to go to you and say, look, I need to talk to you. Because, see, I can make things terrible. I can make things terrible. I thank God I ain't using. I thank God I realize we are powerless. I thank God y'all stop using. I thank God that y'all know now that this is a disease and we can never use again. I thank God that we know that we're in a place in our life where we don't want to use again. I am so powerless over drugs, and I'm powerless over people, and I'm powerless over paper. I am powerless over a lot of things, and a lot of it ain't got to do, most of it got to do with addiction. But when I'm talking about people's places and things, this step right here has to maintain in your life every day. I'm powerless. I'm powerless. You know, I just can't. I can't feed into it. When I was using, I fed into everything. Everything became everything. And I'm not there yet. I'm not there no more. When I was using, I did a lot of bad things. I stole a lot of stuff. I hurt a lot of people. I hurt me. The first person I really hurt, we truly hurt, is ourselves. We let ourselves down. We stopped nurturing ourselves. That's how we know that we are powerless. So because we stopped doing the things that we normally did, and thank God that I came into treatment. Thank God that He sent me to a place to help me understand this disease of an addiction. Because I was a lost soul out there. I was lost. Long as I was getting high, long as I was feeling good, I didn't care about what you said about me. I didn't care how you looked at me and care what you called me. All I care about using drugs. But when I finally came to the place in my life to go into treatment and start working on something, start to admit that I am, we are powerless over our addiction. And if you think I'm lying, you keep using and see how your life become unmanageable. So everything they saying is true. Hey, Cynthia, my girl, Cynthia, how you doing? Everything they saying is true. But you know what's so good about, what's really good is that I can just come back and chill and not expect nothing. I can come home and be alone by myself and not expect nothing but a personal relationship with God. God is always working on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want Him to stop. You never, because if God stopped working on you, then that's time for Satan to get in. So God is my best friend. He my man right now. I said, God, you're going to be my man. You my man. You tell me what to do. You show me what to do. Tell me how to slow my feelings down. Tell me what not to say. I depend on God for everything now, because when I was using and I got well and you helped me out, figure it out, and you helped send me to a place like Northwest General Hospital. You helped send me place to Janetta Robinson to go in treatment and go to inpatient. God, you helped me out every step of the way. You helped me find a destination that was going to save my life and help me. And for that, I would be ever grateful to you, to never use drugs again, to respect drugs. And it's another thing that I'll never eat again, and that's Skittles. I respect Skittles. Ever since it stuck in my throat that day on the highway and I thought I was going to die, I don't eat a Skittle. If I see it, I respect it enough to go past it. Because anything that's harming you or harmed you, you respect it and don't do it again. So I never go back to using. That's it. That's done. That ain't even in my story. And I never let other people tell me who I am and what I need to be and how I need to do, because you didn't walk in my shoe. You ain't been there. You ain't never did drugs. You ain't been there. You don't know why I feel this way today. You don't know why it's hard for me to admit that I'm a drug addict. I'm a crackhead. I'm a dope fiend. You don't know what it took for us to get up in the morning and find some way to go get some help or to help. You don't know. Don't nobody know. If you ain't never used drugs, that's just like if you ain't never prostitute, you can't tell me what a prostitute go through. If you ain't never used drugs, you don't know what I'm feeling. If you ain't never been heartbroken from love, you can't help me. So I had to learn all these things. And like I said, every hurt ain't a curse. Sometimes pain and hurt is a blessing. It's a blessing. And when you think God done forgot you, boom, He'll pop up and show you, oh, I'm the man. No, I'm the man. Don't ever count me out. Where it looked real dark and ugly, when you wanted to take your own life, when you hit rock bottom, didn't nobody know you didn't have no money, didn't nobody know you couldn't pay your cell phone bill and it got cut off, didn't nobody know you was up and down, but I knew, but I still had your back. That's why I sent you to get some help. That's why I told you to go to a meeting. That's why you did 90 days and 90 meetings. So if a person can't help me that ain't never been through what I did when I went through, you can't. I wouldn't wish this disease on nobody. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that. Because you come on, y'all know. Come on, Carol and Stella, you know. Come on, Denise, you know. Come on, hey, come on, Rochelle. Come on, y'all know. Denise, you know. Stop letting people take y'all out of y'all character. You know. Some people can laugh and talk with you, and before you know it, they're talking about you behind your back. That's why I don't laugh and talk to everybody. I speak to you. I laugh with you. When I go anywhere, when I go to the club, when I go to a meeting, I speak, boom, I'm gone. I came with no one, and I'm leaving with no one, but me and God. Because even in recovery, when we admit that we are powerless, we admit we done something. We did something. When it came out my mouth that I admit that I'm powerless, I bust out and started crying. Because I never wanted to admit nothing. I didn't want to admit that I was hurting. I didn't want to admit that I got played. I didn't want to admit that I'm powerless. I didn't want to admit that I'm giving up something to gain something. I didn't want to do that. It took me a while to admit that I'm powerless over drugs and my life had become unmanageable. I stayed in that. I stayed in there because I didn't want to give up my drug. I like getting high. I didn't need no excuse to tell you the reason I got high. People say, why do you get high? Oh, I don't know. My sister and me, we had a fight. My mother didn't do me right. I was in pain. No, they asked me, what you asking me? Why did you like getting high? I wanted to escape. I needed to escape. And once I started escaping and taking drugs, it felt good. So the best story I can tell you, smoking dope and getting high felt good to me. I didn't wait for no excuse. I just did it because it felt good. It put me in a mood that I liked it. So ain't no use in me lying. I ain't gonna tell you that my dog lost his leg or my girlfriend took my husband. I ain't gonna tell you nothing like that. I'm gonna tell you I liked it because it made me feel good. That's why I use. I can escape from pain. I ain't got to remember. I ain't got to think. If I'm so high, let me get higher. And me with my crazy butt, you ain't gonna never get no higher than the first high you got in the first place. But I didn't know that disease of an addiction trick you like that. I thought the more I chase and the more I get high, I was gonna get higher. But that one hit, I never feel that same feeling that I felt from the first hit in my life. And then you'll be chasing it for the rest of your life. That one hit, you'll never get that feeling no more. Boy, when I took that first hit, I thought I was on cloud nine. And then I was chasing it for years afterwards. I ain't going back. Yeah, hey, y'all can do what y'all want to. Y'all can think you can play me. You can think you can hurt me. You think you can run me away. You think you can pray me away. But I'm here to stay because I ain't going back to using ever again. I went through too much. I gave up too much. I lost too much. I went through too much that I thought I couldn't get out. And a God of my understanding had to come in and show me how to work it out, how to trust, how to nurture, how to help, how to believe. I needed a hope shot. I needed some things in my life that was going to help me surrender to being and knowing that I'm powerless over drugs and alcohol. I had to. I was tired of hurting, tired of explaining, tired of hiding, tired of isolating, tired of wanting to take my own life. It's bad when you want to take your own life. You're in trouble. It's so bad. You in trouble. I don't wish that on nobody. It was 3 times I tried to take my own life, and I don't wish that on nobody. That pain that got so great, I didn't have no hope. I didn't have no understanding. I didn't have no joy and no peace. And you don't know what it is if you ain't got it. If you ever had it, then you'll know what it is to try to get it back. But some people just don't have no joy or peace, no way. Because they're always in chaos. They're always keeping up something. They're always doing this and that. Hey, my life wasn't like that. When I started using, everything started happening. Things started changing. You know, my life had become so unmanageable. I was just doing things just to be doing things. And I don't want to just to be doing something. I don't want to be just to be doing something. I don't want to. I want to know what I'm doing. I want to know that this is a disease and I have to treat it like a disease. Like if you got high blood pressure, you know you got high blood pressure, but if you don't take your high blood pressure pill, what's going to happen? Your high blood pressure going to go up and it can cause you to go have a stroke. If you know you're a diabetic and you know that you need to take your diabetic medicine, and if you don't take it, what's going to happen? You're going to lose a leg or some eyes or some hands, or you're going to die. So, you know, these are the season of addiction is our medicine. All we got to do, we ain't got to take nothing. All we got to do is just don't pick up. And then after that, what we have to do is go to meetings, keep our active of going to meetings and kicking it with our sponsor and dealing with our sponsor. I ain't never going to use again. I went through too much. And I went through too much and had to go through a lot to get out. And that's too much energy. You know how long it take us? Come on, y'all. Everybody on here know. Everybody that come on this site know what you went through using drugs and alcohol and what you had to get to understand why we were powerless over this disease. This is a disease because we can be doing just fine. Everything can be so beautiful and so fine. And all of a sudden, guess what? I see a beer commercial. Or someone say, ooh, or I smell some weed. I go past somebody. And boy, there's some stinky weed they got now. I don't know what they smoking these days because when I go in Walmart and I go to places and I go past them, I be wanting to throw up. What is that they smoking? I don't understand with that because see, you know, I ain't bragging on no weed, but I can tell you that we wasn't even smoking nothing that was going to smell like that. I don't know what they smoking. You know, I don't know what they smoking, but I know it stank. And me and my daughter was in Walmart the other day, and this dude was standing up there talking, and he turned around and said, "How you doing?" I said, "Ooh, that stank." He said, "My bad, my bad." And see, I always have to watch me, because see, stuff will come out of my mouth, and I don't mean it to come out. I want, you know, but sometimes, you know, I'm thinking, and I'm like, "Ooh, that stank, man." You know, and he said, "My bag, baby, my bag." You know, I don't know what it is, but I know in the years we was using, we wouldn't have smoked nothing that smelled that bad. I don't know. Because in our addiction, after we get to smoking, we will smoke anything. Let me change that. Let me change that. Because in my addiction, when I was using, I didn't care what it smelled like. I didn't even care what it looked like. Just give me some so I can get high. Insanity. Insane. Come on, Latree. Hey, Latrice. I just got to keep it honest. But I'm just saying, this stuff this day, I can't deal with that weed smoking. I can't. That stuff stink. We admit it. I'm so glad we admit it. That we were powerless because our life started to change after that. So the very word I didn't want to admit is the very word I'm proud of today. That I'm powerless. Over addiction, over peoples, over places, and things. You know, I used to love to go to this fancy restaurant, but it kind of made me upset when I drove up there and the restaurant wasn't there no more. But I'm powerless. What I'm going to do to fix it? I ain't going to go buy another restaurant and put it there. I'm just powerless. It ain't there no more. Move on. Your life goes on. We have to move on. When our kids hurt our feelings and put us in a situation of embarrassment, we just have to go on. When we feel like we ain't being appreciative and how we go out for them and how they want to talk crazy to us, you got to go on, though. You got to go on, because every child ain't like that. We got to love ourselves in order to know how to go on. And that's what we did when we admitted that we were powerless. We did a beautiful thing in this step. We gave it up. God, I'm powerless. I can't do it no more. I can't win. And I want to grow. You know, give me back my joy. Give me back everything Satan stole from me. I want it back. I want the wisdom back. I want the growth back. I want the peace back. I want the nurturing back. I want the joy back. I want some things that I hadn't even experienced before. I want it all back. I'm greedy now, God. I want it all back. You done taught me a new way to live through the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. Ain't nothing slowing me down. Ain't nobody, ain't no person, ain't nothing slowing me down no more. I know who I am. Y'all should know who y'all are. Everybody on this site should know. And if I come to you one day out of expectation, and don't think I won't, and I say to you, Robin, who are you? Stella, who are you? Cynthia, who are you? Denise, who are you? And I wonder what you'll say to me. Because it's going to get to that point when I see you, I'm going to tell y'all that. Ask me and see what I tell y'all. Thank y'all. We're in step one. We went through step one. We are powerless over anything, and that our lives have become unmanageable. Hitting bottom, we talked about that. Being powerless, we talked about that. Despair and isolation, I put that in there too. You know, we talked about reservation on how we can think or try to go back and use again. Unmanageability, we talked about that. You know, I tried to put it all in there. Surrender, and we must surrender to know that we are powerless over that. And the spiritual principle of knowing and take everything that we learn to another addict. So I had to learn. So next week we will be on. Thank y'all so very much. If I haven't told you I loved y'all, you know, thank you very much for being a part of my podcast and thank me for helping me and nurturing me. Because when I talk to you all or talk about the steps or bring something to you, it helps me too. You know, I'm enjoying me just like you enjoy me. It says, step 2, we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore. You heard what it says, could restore us to some sanity. God bless you. You have a safe week. I love you. Do something nice and kind for someone today. And don't let people catch you up. Don't let people catch you up not working on yourself. Don't let people catch you up and you not working on yourself. Denise, I love you. Remember what I just said? I love you, Stella. I love you, Cynthia. I love you, Robin. I love you, Michael. Anybody name, I don't mean no harm. But when I tell you I love you, I do, because it took a lot for me to even say them words. So I thank y'all. Be blessed. Learn something from what I said today. And remember, stay patient. Be patient. If you think I'm lying, just take 5 minutes to be quiet. If you're getting ready to go off or you want to say something, take 5 minutes. I guarantee you. If you think I'm lying, try. Take 5 minutes and just do nothing and don't say nothing. And watch how that blow over. And watch how things will come out better. I love everybody. May God continue to bless y'all. Keep y'all safe. And we are on step 2 of next week. See you later. Love you. Talk to y'all later.